Netta, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
First of all, why do many, if not most, of us struggle with confidence at some level?
My company Rise Up For You, we asked 2,000 working professionals, so not furloughed, people that were in the workforce actively working, what their number one challenge was. 83% said self-confidence. That is a huge number, that their number one challenge is self-confidence. So things that fall under that: perfectionist mindset, imposter syndrome, not feeling enough, self-doubt that cripples the ability to take action. So it sabotages them. So that's a huge number. So now if you think about it, if you own a company, you run a company, or you're a professional in a company, imagine what that can do to communication, your ability to sell to clients, your ability just to take forward action and be your best. So just staggering that number. And that's why I wrote a whole book on it, because I think that as a society, now answering your question, we've really been taught the wrong definition of what confidence is. Most of us, our entire life have been built to build what I call, or have been taught to build what I call micro confidence. And I talk about this in my book. Micro confidence, meaning that we've been taught to build confidence in categories or competencies, right? Think about it when you go to K through 12 school, you go to university, you build confidence in a skill, right? Or an area. I'm confident in math. I'm confident in PE, history, whatever it is. But we're never really taught to build what I call macro confidence, which is confidence in your belief and ability to learn, confidence to move forward and take action, even despite not knowing all the skills, right? An inner belief that you are enough simply because you exist, and everything else you can learn. And the challenge is that because we've been taught this opposite way, most individuals, they grow up defining themselves based off of these external things: your job, your title, your degree, your certificate. And the challenge is those things aren't sustainable.
I hear these stories of like these parents who put the pressure on their kids to perform.
Yeah.
Not for the kid.
Bingo.
For the parents.
Bingo.
Because they're living vicariously, or this is about like, you're representing us.
Yeah.
I've heard that line said a few times. When you go out into the world, you're not just representing you're representing our family. So I need you to perform. And that could just be behave, comply, whatever. Yeah. And that never sat with me well, because I was always like, no, I get it, but I'm actually here just for me. You know what I mean? Like whatever I do, if that has a reflection on you, correct me if I'm wrong, that's more about how you're perceiving it.
100%. You're absolutely right. And I'm grateful for my parents every day, because they didn't come from that place. They didn't come from that place at all, even if they didn't agree with us. Like when I became a performer, my dad was like, why? Go be a doctor. Go be a lawyer, because I had really good grades. And I was like, no, you taught me to be confident and love myself, and this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do. And I did, and he accepted it. And then he would start coming to my shows. He went to every show, same thing. He'd be like, you sang really amazing, but I think you can hold that note longer. Try it next time. Mm-hmm. And then I would try it and I would hold it longer, and he'd be like, that was amazing. So it was an evolution. And like I said, I'm grateful for it. And that's something that's a big contributor for people's confidence, for sure.
What are some of the tools or techniques? How do you help people, overcome that?
Yeah, that's a great question. You didn't ask this. This is great. So I have a blueprint called the 4 Bs that I'm going to break down for everybody here. Okay,
cool.
It's the hardest thing to do. It doesn't happen overnight, and you need to keep doing it. So like, I know people say words of affirmation. That's great. But what you really need to do is break the behavior and the belief of where it's coming from. So the 4 Bs, the number one is the belief. Okay. So what's the belief that you have that's getting in the way of your success? Now, we have a ton of beliefs. So you can make a whole list of beliefs that you have that are getting in the way. I'm not good enough at my job. Nobody likes me as a leader because English is my second language. I'm giving things that I've heard real life from clients, right? I can't trust people because they're going to let me down. Therefore, like, I micromanage my team, right? So these are all these beliefs that people have that are getting in the way of their success. I can't be in a relationship because they're going to hurt me and they're going to cheat on me again, right? So these beliefs that we accumulate over time. What's the belief? Then the second B is the backstory. Where did that belief come from? And it might be from a number of places. It could be that, something happened in your childhood that made you not feel good enough. Mm-hmm. And then you went on to your first relationship and something happened, and then it validated the not feeling good enough. And then you went to your first job and you had a leader that wasn't amazing, and then it revalidated the not feeling good enough, right? So really try to understand what's the backstory of the belief. Now, the third B is the most important. What's the behavior that it's causing? Is it causing you not to raise your hand in a meeting because you're scared? Is it causing you not to go out there and put yourself out there and network as a real estate agent because you're afraid to network, or you're afraid of what people are going to think about you, or you're afraid of like putting yourself out there? Is it causing you, not to be in a relationship? Is it like, what's the behavior that it's creating and causing in you? And then the fourth B is now, how do we break it? How do we break the belief so that we can shift the behavior?